I think collecting is probably pretty common with designers. The idea was to buy a lot of these and maybe open up a shop and sell some of them to kind of pay for the others. And then I couldn't find myself to part with them. So I just have them all now. And probably the ones that we have up are my favorites. The General Dynamics one was pretty, what's the word? It was expensive. When we started Moniker, myself and Lindsay talked to a lot of different studios and asked, like, what are the things you've learned? Do you have any advice as we're kind of getting things started? A lot of it was about size. Like, someone told us between like 4 and 6 people, they were making a lot of money, had a lot of freedom. And then when they hit 6 to 15 people, they lost all of that.
It was really important to us to work with people that we enjoyed being around.
I think it creates an environment where you're really comfortable to throw bad ideas out there, which is sort of the process really, right? I mean, you have to get through a ton of bad ideas before you arrive at something decent.
Still not amazing, but I think it works a little bit better. Yeah.
I worked in-house at a giant company, but the team that I worked on was maybe 4 or 5 people, and we did all of the graphics and illustrations for the entire company. So I saw that like this tiny team could have like a huge impact.
Our clients sometimes focus on the numbers of our studio being small, and we have to kind of convince them, well, we have the perfect motion guy or the perfect naming company. Through the years, we've built up a network of experts at what they do, and that's been kind of a long process.
I have no issue with somebody telling me that's crap, that's awful, change it. I know they're just trying to make a better piece of work in the end.
Not every project is about doing something disruptive or wildly different. Sometimes it's about fitting in and building trust and those kind of things. You look for ways to solve what they're looking to solve, and then you sort of sneak in like the weirdness within that.
They say it all the time, and your portfolio is the work that you'll get, and that's so true.
If there's an industry or an area that we want to do work in, then we'll make up our own project. No one asked us to do a cat beer, we just, wanted to do something fun. When I first started out, I thought that the biggest challenge was like getting them to pick the best logo. Now the challenge is how do we craft this presentation and how do we give the ammunition to clients to be able to sell the work internally?
I mean, the design process in a lot of ways is the easy part. I think it's being able to articulate your ideas and show the value of the work you've done to the client. That is the hardest part, I don't know what else.
I've joked about if I could go back to school, I'd take some more psychology, sociology, those kind of classes that are about communication and just getting along with people or talking to people, how people respond. What we wanted to accomplish and how long it took to get there was a lot longer than I kind of expected. It's really about chipping away at things over the years as opposed to jumping into the perfect job or working with the perfect client. We're actually more picky, I think, about who we're working with than we are about the project itself. We've gotten to where we can ask the right questions to make sure that it's someone that we want to work with for 3 months or 6 months or sometimes a year.
I think the challenge for this project really was coming up with a way to use illustration that didn't feel cliche. This was just somebody that we had found through Instagram, emailed her cold turkey and tried to see if we could work something out.
I think perhaps for some, they're surprised that a studio of this size has produced that type of work. But I think more and more companies are realizing that you don't need large teams to produce high quality work.
The more we have in our portfolio of those bigger projects, the easier it gets. But it's still a battle every time.